Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. This is your girl GH Kings. So on this video I'm gonna show you guys how I make palm nut soup or a benquine or palm nut soup or a benquine. Is that a benquine or a benquine? I think it's a benquine. Okay, that's how we call it in Ghana. So let's just go over the ingredients really quick. Just few ingredients, okay? So I have my palm nuts here. Okay, this is the one. It's called Ghana Fresh proper palm nuts. Okay, so yeah, this is basically what do you call this, concentrated. Okay, so they basically, it's like whatever process that they did it right here. Okay, so this is the cream of the palm nuts. Here is my ginger, a whole onion, garlic, and some hot pepper. Okay, here I have my 4 tomatoes. Okay, and then I have percocet. I forgot the English name for percocet, but I'm gonna add it to the ingredients when I list them. And here is my adobo. That's the only spice I'm gonna be using in this soup. And then I have my live chicken. This is the heart chicken. Okay, and then I have my turkey. This is smoked turkey. Okay, so that's all the ingredients that you need for this. Okay, so I'm going to start cooking. So guys, this is my cooking pot. Okay, so first things first, I just dumped my chicken in here, and what I'm gonna do is to add my pepper mixture. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just add a tiny bit of adobo. This time I'm using a tiny bit of adobo because that smoked turkey is already salted. I don't know how they do that. It's smoked neck turkey neck. Okay, they do add salt to it, so that smoked turkey is already salted, and I'm not adding it now because it's already smoked, which means it's cooked, probably like not fully cooked but semi cooked. Okay, so now I'm going to, my stove is on, I'm going to take a spoon and just turn this thing and let it be good. Okay, and also I'm going to dump my percocet in here. This is very easy to make, by the way. I'm going to dump my tomatoes in here and let my tomatoes start cooking. And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the next steps really soon. So now I'm just going to turn this chicken. Let me just do that and show you guys. So guys, yeah, I just stirred at it. Okay, and this is how it's looking like. So I'm just gonna cover this and just let it cook for 5 minutes. I'm not adding the smoked turkey because, like I told you guys, it's already cooked. Okay, so I'm gonna add it very soon though, but I just want this thing to cook for about 5 minutes and then I'm gonna add it. Okay, this is what I have in here. So yeah guys, as you can see, the chicken is cooking. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to add water to this pot. Actually, before I do that, I can now add the meat, but it looks like I have a lot of meat. So you know what I'm gonna do, instead of pouring everything in, I'm just gonna take them and put them in like so. So I have already washed my meat. Okay, and you guys, if you've noticed me cooking, I don't really cook with beef. You know, since I started showing you guys videos, I have not cooked with beef. I'm here to cook with beef because I don't like cooking with beef. It's just, I don't know why, it's just when I was younger, you know, like we don't really eat beef in my house. So like I grew up to, no, I don't hate beef. Of course I eat beef once in a blue moon, especially with my pasta sauce, which I'm going to show you guys like soon, because I feel like I'm showing you guys all African food. One of these days I'm gonna show you guys how I make my pasta sauce, and you will know that, you know, I do eat beef, but it's just not the common. Anyway, beef is not really that good. They said it's not good for your heart anyway. So I think this amount of meat is fine. I still have like a couple here, but let's do it just for this point. Should I add it to it? You know what, let me just hold on to that. I feel like I have a lot of meat. I'm going to stir at this thing and then show you guys how it's looking like, because I can't hold my phone and be doing this at the same time. Okay, so guys, this is how it's looking like at this point. So now I'm gonna pour water in the blender, you know, because I haven't washed the blender yet, and I'm gonna pour it in here. Okay, and then I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do next after that. Okay, this soup is very easy to make. Yeah, it's so easy to make because now we have the palm nuts already in the form of concentrate, so you don't have to cook the palm nuts and just, you know, pound them and then strain them, all that long process. We are good to go. Okay, so yeah, I'm just pouring water from the blender. I just added water to the blender and if they don't look clear, because of course I blended some ginger and stuff in here. So yeah, and I have my tomatoes on the side because they are good, because the tomatoes that I'm actually using, they are really ripe tomatoes, so they are very soft anyway. So I'm just taking them out at this point. I'm going to blend them and pour them into the soup. Okay, after I pour them into the soup, I'm going to add my palm nut concentrate in here. So this is how it's looking like at this point. It's looking really good. And like I told you guys, with this soup, me, whenever I'm cooking with turkey, not just any turkey, this smoked turkey, whenever I'm cooking with smoked turkey, I just don't add a lot of spices. I just add a bit of adobo and that's it, because this turkey, it is salty. I just want to, actually I need to Google, I need to YouTube how they make this smoked turkey, because I don't know why it's always so salty. I know it's salty because they want to preserve it, but I feel like it's too salty for my liking, because after washing this turkey, the thing is still salty. So I never cook with salt whenever I'm making soup with smoked turkey. So yeah, this is how it's looking like with the water that I just added. I'm just gonna blend the tomatoes now, pour it in here, and see how much more water to add before I add my palm nuts. Okay, it's very easy to make this soup by the way. Alright guys, so I just blended the tomatoes. Okay, so I didn't add any water to it as I was blending it. It's just that pure tomatoes, raw tomatoes that are blended. So I have just added it to my soup. Okay, and it should change the color of the soup a little bit, like how light. Alright guys, so I added water to the blender. Okay, and I'm gonna pour that into the soup. Okay, so now it's good, and as you can see, the soup is still cooking. It looks pretty good so far. This is how it's supposed to be looking at this point. Anyway, this can be light soup. Okay, I can just add more tomatoes to it and just make it light soup, but since we're making palm nut soup, the amount of tomatoes in here is fine, and we have a lot of ginger here, so it's gonna be very spicy, exactly how palm nut soup is supposed to be. So yeah, at this point I'm just gonna let the soup cook. I'm not gonna disturb it. Okay, I'm just making sure that all the spices are everywhere it's supposed to be at, and the amount of meat in here is just perfect. It's not too much, because I don't like when I make soup and there's so much meat in there and little soup. I ain't got time for that. Okay, I want a lot of soup as possible, so I'm not gonna add the rest of the turkey neck. I'm just gonna put it back in the freezer and just use it to make something else next time. Okay, so yeah, this is how it's supposed to be looking like, and my stove is on. We're good to go. So I'm just gonna let this cook as I mix my concentrated I guess palm nuts in a bowl to get a very liquidy kind of consistency, and just pour it into the soup. Okay, but so far we're good. See, making this soup is not hard. It doesn't really take time to make this soup. It's very easy, honestly. It's easy. But this is one of the soups that they say is hard to make. Like, lazy women can't make this soup. That's what they say in Ghana. If you're a lazy woman, you don't know how to cook, you should not try making this soup. You should try with light soup first. I mean, I see where they're coming from though, because if you can't make light soup, how can you make this thing? But this is not hard to make. It's very easy to make. It's very similar, like how you make the peanut butter soup, then katenkwa that I'll show you guys. It's very similar. It's just that this time we're using palm nuts instead of peanut butter. You understand? That's the only difference. And I think I'm changing the meat that I used here. I think this last time I don't know what meat I used. I think I even added mushroom, but this one I'm not adding no mushroom. It's just the chicken and the turkey necks. Okay, so that's how it's looking like so far. Yeah. Alright guys, so I poured the concentrated palm nuts in here, okay, in this container, and what I'm gonna do is to take a bit of the soup and pour it in here, just to make sure that, I mean, you know how it has palm oil in it, and palm oil just solidifies over time. So if it has solidified, I'm just waking it up with this soup, because the soup is hot, and then I'm going to stir at it and pour it into the soup pot. Okay, so I think that amount of soup poured in here is fine. I hope you guys can see this. Okay, let me just, yep, I think you guys can see it now and see what I'm doing, just to make sure it mixes well. And then you can just put the whole thing in there, but I just want it to mix well so that I don't see any chunks of it. I want it to look like a puree, or at least I want it to look like a puree. If not, I'm going for a sauce kind of look like Like if I can't get it to look like a sauce. Puree is fine. So far it's looking like a puree, and it's still too thick, so I'm just gonna add a bit of soup, because when I pour this into the main soup, right, I don't want any chaos where I have to now be staring at it for a long time before I get it to mix with the entire soup. I ain't got time for that, you understand? So doing it this way makes it easier, even though this is a whole process. To me, it makes life easier. I think this amount of soup should get it to where I want it to be. I just want it to be as saucy as possible. I mean, being puree is not bad, but I want the saucy kind of look. This is good though. This consistency is good. So now when I pour it in the soup, I can just give it one gentle stir, and it will just mess with the whole soup. So yeah, I think this consistency is perfect. See, there is no way it's going to get stuck into one piece of meat like that. So I'm just okay. Thank God it's not too hot. I just brought it over and I'm just pouring it into the soup. Okay, and I'm going to add some water to that bowl and just pour it into the soup. But before I do that, I'm just making sure that the palm nut is mixed into the entire thing. And now see, the color has changed. It looks like the palm nut, and you can tell this is not done cooking because there is no palm oil on top of here. Okay, take a note of that. See how the soup is looking at the end. When the soup is done cooking, you will see a major difference. Okay, the color will change a bit, and also you see a lot of palm oil on top of it. But yeah, anyway guys, I went ahead and added the rest of the meat because I noticed this meat, see how it's shrinking now. The turkey meat is shrinking because all the juice, all the water that was in the turkey is now in the soup now, so it shrinks. So I just went ahead to add the remaining of it. See, that big old turkey neck is now baby turkey neck. So yeah, I went ahead to add the rest of it in here, and I know this one too will shrink a little bit because this is one of the new ones that I added. So yeah, I'm just gonna wash that silver and just add that soup in here because this is thick. Okay, palm nut soup, like what you call the other one, granite soup, it gets thickened over time, so you just want it to be as liquidy as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna add more water and fill it. So yeah, this is how it's looking like so far. Basically we're done. We're just waiting for this soup to cook. So yeah, and this time if you were not adding turkey meat, this is the time that you can taste it to see if it's a bit salty, and then or not, to determine if you want to add spices or salt to it. But like I told you guys, whenever I'm making soup with turkey neck, I just add a little bit of adobo and that's it. So yeah, guys, I went ahead. As you can see, there's a huge difference now, right? I went ahead and then I just added water to that bowl that I mixed the palm nuts in, the palm nut concentrate in, and then I poured it in the soup, and now it's looking good. And also I have lowered the stove, so when it starts cooking, it will not pour into the stove. Okay, so this is how my palm nut soup is looking like so far. I'm just waiting for the soup to start cooking and just be done. Basically that's what we're waiting for. We're done. Honestly, we're done with this soup. It's smelling really, really good at this point. We're just waiting for it to start cooking and just be done cooking. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys, when it start cooking and stuff like that, when it start boiling, I mean bubbling up and all that stuff, and when it's done cooking. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so our soup is really cooking. As you can see, we have oil on the surface. So I would like to say our soup is done. Okay, yes, and the color too, I say color because of my accent. The color too has changed a bit. Okay, so our soup is basically done, but I just want to leave it on the stove for maybe 10 more minutes to to get it lowered a little bit, and also for it to be a little bit thicker. Not really, it's not necessarily going to be extremely thick, it's just a little bit thicker. It smells really good at this point, and as you can see, my chicken should be done by now. I know I'm using hard chicken, but by now it should be done. Okay, so yeah, I am finally done with this soup. Honestly guys, I am just done with this soup. I'm just gonna wait about 5 or 10 more minutes for it to cook more, and then I'm gonna turn off my stove It's smelling really good. See, it doesn't really take long to make this soup. And also when I'm done, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna take when it cools down, I'm gonna take all this oil. Okay, I'm gonna take all of them out. But now it's not really bothering me. Okay, I'm just gonna let it finish, and then when it cools down, I'm gonna take out all the oils. And I recommend you guys do the same thing as well. Take out the oils when you are done with the soup. So that's how it's looking like at the moment. Yeah, we're basically done. But I will show you guys when I turn off the the stove, how it's looking like. Okay, so yeah, we're basically done with this soup. Nothing more. It's done. You see the oil, how it looks like, and how it looked before. That tells you that your soup is done, basically. So yeah. Alright guys, so I finally turned off the stove, and now as you can see, the oil has settled on top of it. So I'm just gonna take out all that, okay, because you don't need all of that on top of it. And I'm gonna pour that into this container. You can use it for something, honestly. You see how I made my bean stew? I can use this oil to make the bean stew, because this palm oil is the same it's the same palm oil that I use, okay, except that this one will have the scent of the soup in it. That's it. I'm just gonna store it and probably use it to make yam porridge, because it's been a while since I had yam porridge. So there is a lot of oil on here. Alright guys, so I tried to take a lot of the oil out, and this is how it's looking now. So far to me it looks really good. Okay, so yeah, this is the amount of oil that I was able to take out of this soup. You see how much oil this is? So if this is all in your food and you choke, you are screwed. Okay, so I took all this oil out, and honestly I'm thinking about using this for yam porridge, but it's a lot for just yam porridge. So I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna store it and just, I don't know, maybe use it for my okra stew or something. I don't know, maybe an okra stew, because this is too much for yam porridge. I just need a little bit for yam porridge. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave the oil here for the oil to also cool down, and then the soup too to also cool down. So yeah guys, this is the video. I hope you guys enjoy me cooking this soup. So yeah, basically I love you all, and as always, God loves you more, and I hope I see you guys on my next video. Bye.